Hi, Jacob. How are you?
Hello, all good, thank you. Yeah, chilling.
Good, good. Thanks. Welcome to the On the Mezzanine podcast.
Thank you.
Let's cheers.
Cheers. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Cheers. So, we're drinking your favorite drink. What would that be?
Yeah, it's a Camden Hells. Is it a Camden Hells? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a Camden Hells. Stunning.
Best beer that they have at the Mezzanine, to be fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, tell me about your journey with the Mezzanine. How did you start?
So, journey with the Mezzanine started off in May of 2023. So, I just lived on Totterdown Street, like 200 meters down the road, and moved into a house with two Australian lads. And basically, we were out drinking here in April, so we'd only been in the house for about a month, and got pretty drunk here. Started chatting to Gaia and Nico as well, and we asked if we could run like a rave in here because I knew it was like a live music, jazzy bar, that kind of thing. And they said, yeah, might as well give it a go. So it was like a month after we had that convo, we rocked up with decks, like 40 of our mates, and then just like kind of seshed for a few hours, and then that's how it started. And then since then, they moved back to Australia, and I've just been doing drum and bass events here for the past like coming up to 2 years now.
Nice. I love it. So, what like inspired you to get into music? Have you always been into it? Is it a recent thing?
Kind of. So it was more in like high school. It was through like mates that were like playing me like bassy tunes, that kind of thing. And then it was only in college that I started learning how to mix, getting into more like drum and bass, house, techno, that kind of thing. And then from there, went to Nottingham Trent, and it just kind of spiraled from there. Learned how to make my own songs, learned how to mix with the genres and stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
Cool. And what's your kind of biggest influence?
Biggest influences? I don't know. I quite like melodic kind of songs. Yeah, so I used to in like Nottingham when I was mixing. I used to play a lot of like jump up D&B, so it was very aggressive, weird, alien kind of like noises and stuff. But now it's more pianos, synthy, that kind of stuff. Very like fast, but all kind of like melodic-y, bit jazzy as well. A little bit more soft stuff that I can like work to. Kind of thing.
Okay, that sounds good. Do you have like a big audience for that you find in London?
To be honest, I guess so. Yeah, I think the chilled drum and bass scene, like liquid drum and bass scene, is getting there. It's quite big, and I feel like bringing Grounded to Tooting, which is a predominantly liquid event, it's got quite a big audience. Like all the drum and bass heads have just kind of come from their little dark corners in Tooting and all just spawned here, which is kind of nice. But yeah, there is quite a lot of liquid events going on in London and stuff, but a lot of them are in like bigger clubs that I don't really get the chance to go to and stuff because they're a little bit far away, and I don't really want to be up till 7 a.m.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
it's a long way from Tooting. A lot of places in London, especially at night.
Yeah.
So who is Grounded? Is it you? Is it you and other people?
Yeah.
How did you like start the concept, and what's the reason behind the name?
So Grounded is just me. I don't actually know what happened with the name. So to be fair, what it was the same day I thought of my current name, which is episode 3 as well. Basically, it was me after a night out writing a load of names down in a pad, and I've still got the pad at home. And I kind of picked my name, and out of that, I was like, right, I kind of like that name for my own drum and bass event as well. And I quite liked how it was quite like a firm, kind of like a hardcore name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds good. It has presence.
Yeah, and then Grounded itself is just me. So when it was me and the two Australian lads, we called it AU UK and then they kind of went their own separate ways, flew back to Australia, and I just thought, you know what, I've got the opportunity here to start running my own events, so might as well.
Nice. And do you book other DJs or get people in for kind of guest slots?
Yeah, so the past 2 events, so I've had 3 headliners on so far.
Wow.
Noppo.
Can you tell us who they are?
Yeah, so for the first one, it was like last year, had Noppo. He's pretty cool, nice guy. And then the last one that I had was Kublai. Yeah.
There's a gym upstairs. Yeah. You're only going to hear really loud banging.
I think it's like CrossFit as well. So they're like just throwing stuff at the walls.
Let's hope we don't collapse.
But yeah, so had Kublai on. It was like in February, the end of Feb. And then for the next one, I think, which is going to be the biggest artist that has played, is a guy called Czar. So he's got about 20K monthly listeners on Spotify. He's quite big in the liquid scene. And I'm going to see him on Friday in Fabric, which would be fun.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
How do you sort of build relationships with people like that?
To be honest, I promoted it pretty well on Instagram. So I was doing like paid ads for like a little bit, and I feel like Instagram has an algorithm, I guess, where you can target like an audience. So the audience that I targeted was like the 18 to 30-year-old into drum and bass, into rave, that kind of thing, and it seems to have done pretty well from that. And then from that, a few like regulars have come. They've shared it on their stories, and then across time, I've done like collaboration posts with artists and stuff. Obviously, their followers have seen it, that they've all come down, they've tagged it on the story, I guess, and other folks have seen it. So I've started to build like a nice little community of drum and bass heads.
Yeah, and do you feel like it's quite a strong community?
So I sell tickets on our RA guide, and from that, there's like a little tag where you can see who's a new or returning customer. So from the past event that I did, it was about 60% that were returning or returning customers. So it's building like a nice little community. Yeah,
That's really good. You find it's like you kind of make friends at events and get to know people and hopefully see some familiar faces.
yeah, for sure. Like a lot of the stuff, or a lot of the folks that kind of come, I've met them through Instagram, or that they've messaged the event page saying, "Oh hi, sick event," and then they might come to the next one. I'll recognize the face and stuff, go up to them, say hi. But I guess for me, starting grounded was also a way to kind of network and make friends that are into some of the things as me as well. So a lot of my friends are big into like house and techno. Don't get me wrong, I love house and techno, that kind of stuff. It's sick. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. But like for me, I'm big into like drum and bass. So I just wanted to kind of find a bit of a community around me that is into the similar kind of genre as me.
Yeah, that's really nice. I think, yeah, for us, when we started the event, it was because we had a lot of things that were like
Yeah.
what we wanted in teaching. And it was like we wanted to provide something for a little community around here that's a bit closer to home.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a similar thing. Like I didn't see any other drum and bass events in Tooting for you guys, so that's very cool.
Yeah, no, I guess what was the first drum and bass event in Tooting.
That's great.
Because I think the furthest south there was drum and bass was kind of like Brixton, and I know that going out into Brixton, you have to go to like, I don't know, Ton of Bricks or O2 Academy. Like you've got to go to the bigger places to find it, and it's always £20-30 to get in somewhere, and you've got to plan the night out. So you've got to start drinking, say 9 o'clock, and then you don't get there till 11. Before you know it, it's 4 a.m. and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I think doing something in a small spot like the Mezzanine, it's 100 cap, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like doing something that kind of size, it's a tight knit room, so everyone makes friends and everyone just has like a funnish time. So
yeah, it definitely has a very good feeling, I think, and it's nice that you're a bit more intimate.
Yeah.
And we're the same. Like you go to a bigger club, you have to spend £20-30 getting in.
Yeah.
Then you have to like plan your travel, and sometimes that kind of ruins like the end of the night.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I've got an hour and a half to get home.
Exactly.
You know.
Or you've got to spend £40 to get an Uber from like wherever. It's awful, isn't it? It's not. It isn't fun.
Yeah, but yeah. So Nico told me that you were the first person to approach him to do events here.
Yeah.
So why did you pick the Mezzanine?
Well, as I say, so it was me and the two Australian lads. I think what it was, we went for a run one night. So we were doing Tooting Running Club on a Wednesday night. Came here, got a little bit out of hand, just got on the beers. I ended up going home to make a bit of food. I think originally it was the two Australian lads that spoke to them, or spoke to Gaia and Nico about doing an event here, and then all three of us went back, and we all had a bit of a team meeting and said, look, let's just try and do something here. So I know that if you want to rent like a venue out in Brixton or in Clapham, you've got to pay £300-400. You've got to guarantee that you're gonna make, I don't know, $2.5-3 grand behind the bar. But I know for here, I guess it's just, I don't know, like I don't pay anything. It's a nice communal space. It's in the market, so everyone can come and go as they kind of please. So it seemed like the right spot to do what I wanted to just kind of do.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. When we were looking at venues as well, you feel quite off put. They sort of think of you a little bit like cattle. They just get you in, have a 1,500 bar spend, get you out. Whereas here, like become part of the family.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, everyone's very welcoming, and you've got that like nice Tooting
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
So yeah,
definitely.
very good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like made the Mezzanine very unique in Tooting Market.
Yeah.
Nothing else like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the acoustic guitar guys, not for everyone.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So do you kind of do anything else? I think you're on a radio show, is that
Yeah,
right?
so I do Subtle Radio. That's based in Hackney Wick. So I do that. It's the 4th Sunday of every month at 4:00.
Nice promo.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, so it's under the name Grounded, but I'm on my like 7th installment now. But I've just kept doing, I've just kept putting myself on kind of thing. So I need to get a few guests in the mix over the next few months and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a thing at Brixton Radio in May as well, May the 31st. So that's going to be hopefully a collaboration with like 3 or 4 or other drum and bass crews based around like Southwest, that kind of thing. We're going to do a take over of Brixton Radio for like 4 hours. Going to be 40 cap, so there's going to be drinks on the go. It's going to be the afternoon as well, so it's not meant to be like a rave kind of thing. It's a bit of a community networking session. And then hopefully in July, I'm looking at renting out Peckham Audio.
Wow.
Yeah, so I want to kind of like step it up and grow it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if I can afford it. Yeah.
Is that for Grounded or the radio?
Yeah, so that'll be for grounded, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you find it's like grown quite organically?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd say it is. As I say, like with the community that I've built across like the past, I guess it's the year and a half. Like I've started to make quite a lot of friends from it as well, and I've not really had to, you know, do a lot of like promo, like giving stickers out or messaging my mates and stuff. And I think that's
really good.
Yes, so the past like few events, that's what I've tried to do, is not tell anyone about it and just let everyone find it out naturally of their own accord, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is message all my mates and be like, buy a ticket. But yeah, and each time I put an event on, they all message me and say, "Oh, is it your event tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." They said, "Oh,
that's
we had
really
no idea."
good. Yeah. When we started, we hired a Simmons bar to our first event, so you were only allowed to bring people in that you knew.
Yeah.
And so I literally messaged everyone I knew.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I'm like, oh, I don't know what these people thought of me. So it is nice when you like can just post it out there and everyone's like, wow, yeah, we'll come to that.
Exactly.
And also like for us, like everyone's so busy all the time. So it's nice to have the events where you bring all your friends together and then they all get to catch up.
Yeah, for sure.
Organising adult diaries, especially across like London,
it's hard work,
just a nightmare.
I know, you've got to plan like 3 months in advance now, haven't you? It's crazy. It's crazy.
So yeah, what's the craziest thing you've seen in the Mezzanine? Keep it PG.
Okay.
Ish.
To be fair, I think each event that I've done or been to, the whole thing is just a little bit crazy, isn't it? Like there's always like pissheads just drunk, or there's always someone a little bit mashed up. But yeah, it's just a bit of a laugh, and I think it's like brought out by the low ceilings as well. I don't know why, but when you're in like a low ceiling environment, like no strobes or anything, everyone can just get a little bit weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, the craziest thing, I don't really know.
Bro, it's very true. The low ceilings have an effect on people.
Yeah, I know.
I think maybe they feel like they're not being watched.
Yeah.
They're like in a living room or something.
Yeah, because when you're in a big rave and it's like 3 or 4 stories high, there's like bouncers, bird's eye.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no bouncers here.
Yeah,
so really.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a... Yeah. Yeah, I've not. Yeah, to be fair, I've not really seen anything like mad crazy. To tell you what is crazy, when you're like mid-event and then you go outside for a cigarette, it's like walking into a war zone, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's like a load of how to describe like crackheads. You know what I mean? Just like they all just kind of like knock around there.
Yeah.
While I've been stood outside, I've been offered perfumes and phones. That's
nice.
always a bit of a laugh.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot worse. But yeah, apart from that, nothing mad really.
Yeah, I find it really like jarring when you leave here and it's really quiet, or they've just got the pop music on. Next door.
Yeah. Oh my god. Just brain is just gone.
Yeah.
Mad. Mm-hmm.
Great. What do you like find the most challenging about this job and starting Grounded?
I think it's like doing it as well as working full time as well. Yeah, so I work I work 37 and a half hours in a week. If my company's watching, I do work 37 and a half hours a week. But yeah, so like, I don't know, it's like working, getting up, fitting in like exercise, and also trying to make social media posts, trying to like make TikToks, and then just like, yeah, just organizing the artists that are coming to play as well, and making sure that everyone's going to turn up to the event kind of thing, and just making sure I'm promoting it enough. Because it is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a full-time job in itself, but when I finish work, like I do spend a good, an hour or two each night on the Instagram page, thinking about what content I can kind of make, or it could be like thinking about what t-shirts I want to make, that sort of thing. So it does take up quite a lot of time, but I do like, and I do enjoy doing it, so it doesn't really feel like extra work to me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing. What kind of industry do you work in? Do you find the skills are relevant to this?
I do consultancy, so like not really. I guess
really?
I did.
But it's sort of chatting to people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it is. I actually
they buy into what you're telling them.
Yeah, so I guess you can call it from like a technical businessy term. It's like client engagement and client management, that sort of thing. So it's making sure that everyone's having a good time and making sure that they're going to tell the friends that they've had a good time, that sort of thing. And I guess it's also like project management-y stuff as well. You know, making sure things are getting done on time when they need to be done. But I say that, but like I'm always late posting, or I'm always like calling up the guy I rent speakers from like 2 hours before. Like, have you got the sub? He's like, yep, I do.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess there is like, yeah, there is like a cross or over at some point. But I work in, so it's consulting, but I do like government stuff. So I work for a private firm, and they just do government consultancy. So more technically, I'm a business analyst. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Oh, great. Yeah. No, we're in kind of similar fields.
Oh, nice. Well, what do you do?
Well, we work for Department for Transport.
Okay.
On like transport policy.
Yeah, nice.
So it doesn't sound like it's relevant to music, but
I
don't often share exactly what I do at work. But I think the project management and the like people engagement stuff definitely comes in handy. And I think even like when you approach people, if you're more professional in your emails, and like you say like we're gonna do this and that, I think people respond to you better than if you kind of go in with like no ideas, or
that makes
just
sense.
like a vague idea. So I think it is helpful to have like a job where you're thinking about projecty stuff and being organised and your tone with people.
Yeah, because I guess you've got to maintain the kind of like a professional relationship as well. Because it is kind of like a job. Yeah, it is kind of a job, but especially when you're like
being given tequila
exactly
shots,
when you're like drinking and listening to aggressive dance music, it's pretty hard to maintain like a professional level, isn't it? But like it's all right, it's manageable, yeah. And then I can say it now, but come 1:30 when it's grounded, 1:30 a.m. once the event's finished, Jesus, no chance I'm being like a normal person at that point. Yeah, no, not at all.
No. So when you use social media, what do you find works?
Yeah.
Do you find it a nightmare? Like, what are your tips for people to use social media to promote their business?
Social media, I think doing collaborative, is that the right word? Yeah, collaborative posts. So I wasn't doing that at the start, but then a guy that I know, I put him on one of my events, he messaged me and said, just do a big collaborative post. So from that, all of their followers can kind of like see it. So Grounded will post it, I'll post it, and then it could be with 4 or 5 other folks. So that kind of opens a whole new set of views, or a whole new set of likes and stuff. Especially if someone's friend is tagged into it, they'll see it, they'll give it a like, they might give it a follow, that sort of thing. So I think big collaborative post, and then every now and again, I try and do like a paid ads, you know, on like Instagram and stuff. So as I said before, kind of like I call it like SWLD&B is my like tag, what I've called it. But it's like 18 to 30 year olds, and then you can do like keywords. So they could be into rave, they could be into drum and bass, that sort of thing. And then you can set like a boundary. So I think mine's set within a 10-kilometer radius, because I think any more than 10 kilometers, no one really knows what Tooting is or what the Mezzanine kind of thing. So yeah,
we're putting Tooting on the map though.
We are indeed.
More people
we actually
are.
Here. Yeah, each time I speak to folks at the event, there's some that come from all over the place. To be fair, so there's quite a lot that do travel to come here and come to the events and stuff.
I love bringing my friends from North London. Yeah. Shout out to them doing a long journey. They're like, I'd never come to Tooting otherwise. You're like, actually, it's great here.
Yeah, it's all right, but it's a pain in the neck for them getting home, isn't it? Yeah, because they always cry about like getting the Northern Line and stuff. But it's like when I go and see them, I've got to do the same journey back, haven't I? So it's like, right, it's your
Just
turn.
live on the Northern Line.
Exactly. I mean, at least it's one tube, but like it could be a lot worse.
So how do you sort of find TikTok? Like, what do you have any tips for people to use TikTok well? Is there a way? Is it completely random?
No idea.
Like that?
I still have no idea how to do it. Like I just post like clips. So sometimes I'll post a clip of the actual event and then just leave the original or audio on and then just write across like, there's drum and bass in Tooting, ? Or something. That might get some like good engagement and stuff.
People on TikTok love a question.
Yeah, they do.
Or they're like a POV.
Yeah, POV getting mashed up in Tooting or something. It's like that gets a like. But I think the best TikTok I did, it was not the last event I did, the event before. I just put in like in big words like drum and bass, garage, dubstep in Tooting Market, and it got like 500 likes, and I was like, cool. That'll do.
Really good.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have a strategy for like TikTok yet. And like I've searched it quite a few times. I've tried to chat GPT it to figure out a bit of a plan, but like I have no idea, and it's just too much to keep up.
Yeah, I think you just have to do your best, learn from what the algorithm does.
Exactly.
It kind of change daily.
Yeah, it does.
That's the best way to like get the word out there.
Yeah.
I don't like sometimes we do flyering, but
okay, yeah,
it's a bit risky.
Yeah, I mean, I've not done.
A lot of people don't like the social engagement street.
Yeah, anymore. No. Although to be fair,
across the road.
I've been to a couple events where I've seen it like a flyer and I've seen a name that I know, and it could be like in Brixton or something, and I've gone to the event.
That's
so
great.
I think if I was to start doing like bigger events, I'd definitely pay for like big flyers, because I think there's something quite like raw and underground about like rocking up at 2 a.m. and spraying a tag on the wall, or like spraying glue on the wall and sticking your sheet up and it's there kind of thing.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah. I mean, it's all about like kind of grassroots.
Yeah.
From the ground up.
Especially like drum and bass and like jungle and stuff as well. I think that's where a lot of the old school stuff came from, was just like sticking an A4 sheet, on the wall with like drum and bass here, then that kind of thing. So yeah, I might look into doing that.
Nice. What kind of like age range do you usually get at your events? Do you know?
I guess it's about 20 to 30. So again, on the ticketing site, it says
how old are you?
The average. I'm 20. Well, 25, turning 26 on Friday.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. But yeah, it says the average age that came to the last event was 26. So it's everyone that's around my age. But I know that there's some like 30-year-olds. I've seen like 50-odd-year-old men here, like just pissed. But I'm not sure if they've been walking past and come up, or they've bought a ticket. I don't know. But I guess from 20 to 30 is the ideal age.
Yeah. Do you tend to get any like 18-year-olds who go? Do you think, or?
No, I've not really seen any like younger folks, like university folks. I think the dubstep event that I did, there was a few young kids there. Well, I say young kids. There are a few like young uns there, because they all brought like the skateboards and stuff, and I was like, right, okay, yeah. I don't know where you've come from and stuff, but they all had tickets and stuff, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, isn't it? Like the kind of age range of people that go out now. Like,
yeah.
I don't think younger people go out slightly less. Like when we were at uni, it's very common you to go out like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think it's like culture's a bit different now.
Yeah,
it is.
Cost
of everything.
I guess it's being in like London as well, because I think it's very different. Where I went to uni in like Nottingham, it was, for me to get home was only like a 10-minute walk, and I had like the choice of about 7 clubs within. Yeah, I know. We had like a choice of like 7 or 8 clubs within a 1 mile square. Whereas like living in like London and stuff, say the students that live in Tooting, I don't know, I guess their big nights out will be like Ministry of Sound or something like that. But I don't see a lot of students around here, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, it's such an amazing feeling to be able to walk to and from where you want to go out.
Yeah.
After like having that, as you say, when you're younger, and
yeah, definitely
moving into London, you're like everywhere. Everything's so prepared and
yeah.
stressful, and like that's why we love coming here. Came here like well before we decided to do events here, because just walk in, it feels very casual.
Mhm.
Like the bar staff are really nice. Feels like a tiny bit slower than
Yeah.
the pace of London life.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah, because especially when you go into like one of these big clubs, you know, in like town, and you've got to queue up for ages, and then it's like the whole thing of scanning your ID on one of the ID scanners. It's just a little bit like, you know, intense trying to get in somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh,
I think you feel like they don't want you to be there, even though you've paid a lot of money
exactly.
to go.
And you know you're going to spend a load of cash when you're there as well. So it's like,
I know.
let me in it.
Yeah. I think like the Mezzanine, I feel like they always try to be quite good on their pricing of drinks.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's quite nice as well. Like you're not paying extortionate amounts of money for something that tastes quite horrible sometimes. Like,
yeah, legit.
Some of the beers in central London are £8 and they like
they half fill them and it tastes like
foam.
Yeah, off. I don't know what it tastes like. It's just not very nice, is it? Not nice at all. Yeah, but I mean, what a pint of Corona is like $5.50 here.
Yeah,
promoting the
very
Mez. Yeah.
very good. Like 2023.
Yeah, legit. It's all right prices. And then you know that tickets here, what maximum of five or however much it is, between £5 and £10 for like a ticket. So you're getting a good deal for a
Do you charge for your event?
Yeah, I was doing free events for quite a longish time, and then I was like, this is just not sustainable at all. So started doing £2, £3, and then general release is like £5. But putting headliners on, I've just kind of said to them, look, I can only afford £200, take it or leave it kind of thing. And everyone that's come has said, yeah, so whatever, that'll do.
That's really good. Yeah, it is. It's quite difficult to make like significant money from doing this, I think, especially if you invest in it back into it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's nice you find headliners that are quite amenable, because I think that's what makes it really difficult for a lot of musicians. Like, unless you're really famous,
yeah,
you have to do like a gig for free, or
exactly.
You know, and like I know for some DJs, they're like, bring 15 of your friends to the club, otherwise they won't let you DJ. So it's nice
crazy.
that you're like able to pay people and kind of respect them for their art, rather than see them as a way to get more people in.
And that's what it is. So when I was doing like free events, I was quite open with the fact that I'd say, so Nico used to give more free drinks, but I think now it's like half price drinks. But I was very open with the fact that I was like, look, this is a free event. I don't make any cash from it. I'll probably lose cash from it. So I can't afford to pay you. So each time I've put like a headliner on, I have said, right, I'll start charging for tickets and stuff. But by the time I've like rented a sub, bought some disposable cameras and stuff, I'm all in for like 300, 400 quid, and I might make 300, 400 quid on tickets. And I'm like, oh my God,
it's painful.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the music industry as a whole? You like it? Would you quit? Do you eventually want to quit your job and become a full-time events planner and like DJ?
I don't know.
Hopefully your employer's not listening.
Yeah, please don't. I don't know. In a way, kind of yes, but I quite like the security of working in my industry kind of thing. Like, I know I've always got a job. I know I'm always going to be able to afford to pay rent, that sort of thing. Because I think running events is very salesy focused, and it's not sales where you're like selling a product kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it, but like you're selling. I don't know. You just try, like, please come to my rave. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what it's about, and it's quite hard to pay for the event space beforehand, pay the artist or beforehand before you even know how many heads are going to turn up. That kind of thing. So it's a massive risk. I guess for some big companies it does work out, but I guess it's the companies that have their own spaces, that own their own clubs, that sort of thing. So for someone like us trying to get into one of these big spots is hard, because the bigger companies already own their own spaces and they just run their own events.
Yeah. Do you think it works so well because it's just you and people know that they're like supporting someone sort of on their own who's not part of a big company that doesn't really care that they're there or not? Whereas for us, like, we really value every single person in the room.
Yeah.
And like it's like a fun thing rather than, you know, making loads of money off it.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, because I mean, as I say, try and keep it as cheap as possible and stuff. And I think just being me by myself I don't know, like I've had to learn like a lot of things. Had to learn like social media. Had to learn just to be on my phone the whole time, you know, to reply to messages and stuff. But I would like to think that folks who come do enjoy the smaller events and do just come because it's more grassrootsy, that kind of thing. And like, so the guy that's playing for the next event, Czar, as I said, he's playing at Fabric on Friday night. So he's got a big presence. He's a bigger artist and stuff. And like, I'm paying £30 to go to Fabric on Friday night, whereas you can see him in April for a £5.
Nice promo. Yeah. Yeah, do you want to quickly tell us about your next event?
Oh, yeah.
When is it?
Next event, 4th of April, 8:30 till 1:30. Liquid D&B, and then we're going to do a bit of minimal D&B at the end, so a little bit deeper, a little bit darker. But yeah, headliner is going to be Czar. He's just going to play some liquidy stuff, that kind of thing. And then I'm playing before him, might play a bit of dubstep as well, but like not aggressive stuff, you know, none of that American EDM head bashing kind of stuff. It's going to be like nice.
Like the
just kind of like bouncy stuff. Yeah, because I can't be playing like
I really like that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
your set was very good.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, more like vocals as well, I think.
Yeah, I think people like that.
Because I think marketing myself as like a liquid D&B event, I kind of have to like keep it liquid D&B, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, what would happen if you went off genre? Do you think you'd lose your audience?
Well, I kind of did once. I did like a minimal special, and it went pretty well. It was only a free event because I was just trying it out. But I've said to myself, each third event that I do, I'm gonna like switch up the genres and stuff. So the one after Christmas I did, as I said, like it was a dubstep, garage, that kind of thing event, and then I played drum and bass towards the end. But I would like to start incorporating maybe like techno, but I think as soon as you get off that kind of underground scene like drum and bass, garage, dubstep, if I started to do techno events, I think everyone would be like, nah, get stuffed. So I think I'll keep it as D&B for now.
You can make an alternative name for yourself and have like two personalities.
Yeah, but that'd actually be a bit of a laugh.
I think for us, people are like very genre sensitive. So if you start going a different direction, you'll lose all the people that you gained at the start. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
But then if you were going to like an ordinary club or like spontaneous night out, you wouldn't think about those things.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I think it's the sort of music that we're into. It's like people are very.
Yeah, for sure. Although I noticed, like, I think dubstep and garage is growing quite a bit, and I think that kind of stems off drum and bass. I think the drum and bass heads are more into like dubsteppy stuff now. And then the house and techno crew are quite into like garagey stuff. So I think if you do like a garage, dubstep, drum and bass night, I think that kind of it kind of brings a lot of crews together to make one big mega party, which would be wicked. Yeah.
That sounds great. How did you sort of get into DJing? Did you teach yourself?
Yeah, so funnily enough, it was like me and my mate from college. We knew we wanted to, so pretty much we wanted to start our own like event, like a house techno drum and bass event. And one of the guys who we were talking to about it, he said, "Oh, do you want to play a set at my event?" And we said yes, but we'd never mixed before in our entire lives. So my mate bought like a set of, you know, the little control that you plug into your laptop and stuff. And then from then we just started to learn how to mix like house techno. Got to our first event and there was like CDJs in front of us. And we'd come from this little controller and we were like, oh my God, what do we do? So I was playing drum and bass and on the controller, I was getting used to the sync button and stuff. So say the beats per minute was on like 70 or what 174, or no, like half of 174, like 87. I'd press the sync button and it'd sync it to the other song. So an 87 beats per minute song would speed up to 174. And it'd just sound really shit. So it was like that for an hour. And then, and after that, I was like, right, I need to lock in and just learn how to mix. And then got my own decks. And then from there, yeah, just sweated out studios and that was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever try and sort of just be a DJ? Or did you just go straight from that to your own event?
So I was like doing bits and bobs in Nottingham when I was like studying there. And I was getting pretty good at mixing like dance floory, jump up, that kind of stuff. Like I played at the students union. I had a residency at Stealth, which was kind of fun. But then in my second year, we all went into lockdown, and that's when COVID happened and stuff. So I kind of like, I still mixed when I was at home, but then when I went back to my third year, none of the clubs reopened or anything. So I never really had the opportunity to. So just kind of packed it in from there. I left it on the side for about 2 years, came here, and then started getting back into mixing again.
Nice. Do you think like you've had a lot more success because you sort of started your own thing as opposed to going around asking for sets?
Yeah, for sure. Like I've not asked for any sets elsewhere yet because I want to focus on making my own songs as well. I think it's a lot easier to ask for sets when you have your own tunes and you mix your own songs into your sets. I think it also works when you have your own event as well because you can kind of say, this is me, this is what I run, this is my own song. So you've got like a bit of a backing behind you, if you know what I mean. But it's not just me going up to someone being like, hi, I mix drum and bass kind of thing. I think I've got a little bit more to go with running an event and making your own songs and stuff.
That's really good. It shows you can do a lot of stuff as well,
exactly.
Not just like one thing.
Yeah.
Let's hear your like hot take on the music industry.
What do you mean by hot take?
Like something a little bit controversial, where you think the music industry is going. What's your reflections on it?
I think it's very, very TikTok orientated. Yeah, just like so much goes on to TikTok and stuff. There might be there's a few bigger artists in drum and bass that I've been playing for years and stuff. And they're always good. You always know about them. But there's a few artists that are coming up now that like kind of all just make the same sound. This is a hot take. Don't want to get shouted at by anyone in the drum and bass team. But a lot of the sounds are the same. A lot of the noises are copied from each other. And there's like, it's kind of losing some sort of originality now. And obviously being on like TikTok and stuff, one song can get really big. It's rinsed by everyone. And then the next month there's another big song. It's rinsed by everyone. And like, I don't know, it's just getting a little bit repetitive now and a little bit kind of like annoying.
I wouldn't even say it's one song. It's sometimes about 10 seconds of a song.
Yeah, like a little clip.
Uses it, and then like the wave blows past, and then you listen to the whole song and you realise that the only good bit is
it was like the actual TikTok drop. Viral. Yeah, and it's like, right, great, the rest of it's shit. But,
yeah, no, that's very interesting. I think that's like, there is a problem when you go to really big clubs and literally everyone has their phone out. I'm not opposed to people taking videos because it is nice to watch them back, but you shouldn't go to a club just to like
film
then
it
put it on TikTok or Instagram afterward. The whole point is like it's community.
Yeah, legit.
And you're there to be free and not feel like you're in your 9 to 5. Like,
and you kind of see that from when you see like the TikTok or artists playing these big events and stuff. I think what's bad for it as well is Warehouse Project. Like I don't know if you see. I don't know if you've seen. It's crazy. It's a whole new experience. It's like the maddest thing. But it's like, you know, when the big TikTok or artist comes on or whatever, everyone's phone up, whatever, then what? Like phone on, flash on. Everyone's just stood there like gormlessly watching their phones, and I'm like, oh my god, put your phone away. Have a bit of a sesh. You know what I mean? Chill out.
And if you're the only one dancing, they're like looking at you like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think that's kind of why, like...
I always like say, I'm like, you can go watch on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, legit.
You're in the room once. Yeah. You can't go back.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I am pretty mashed, I do like get my phone out and recording one kind of thing. But the older I get... Like... Yeah, exactly. The older I get, the more I watch the videos, I'm like, well, why did I film that? There was no need at all. So now, to be fair, on a night out, I'm lucky if I get like 1 or 2 videos. But the majority of the time, it's just me, like, with a selfie or something, just, like, not in a good way at all. And I think, for me, that has more, I don't know, for me, when I look back, exactly, I'm like, right.
You go watch it again.
Exactly.
If you want to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good hot take. Well, yeah, thank you for coming on.
All good. No worries. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
No worries.
Sick.
All the best.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Big ups. Definitely will. Yeah.